Another day.
Joe, what kind of things do you work on? 25 games left. You guys are, it seem like, in a good flow. But what more do you want to see?
Really just the mindset. And then the transition from what we emphasize in practice or in a film session to the game, and finding a way to execute in the present while thinking with the end in mind, and like being able to live in both of those spaces at the same time, which our guys done a really good job of doing. But like, hey, here's a situation that's going to come up tonight, but it could come up in situation X, Y, and Z. And so just having a purpose towards that, and just not letting go of the rope of the consistency and the things that we've been doing, which is well-balanced basketball, for the most part.
Were you happy with how the offense? You took, I think, 35 threes. I mean, were you happy with all of what went down against the Knicks and how you executed?
Yeah, I mean, so that, against a team like that, the attempts don't matter as much because you're controlling their attempts. They play at a slower pace, and so the shot selection purpose is much different against this particular opponents. So it was a low possession game. But I thought, like we said it the other day, the best way to defend the Knicks is to attack them with proper spacing, proper decision making, and we were able to eliminate a lot of the things that they're great at, and it starts with our offense. And with our one-shot defense and our offense, we're really focusing on game management.
You talked going into the break about maybe like 10 things or so you want to implement down the stretch. What's like one of those even that you think like you could add or layer on top of like what you've been doing so far?
Just changing matchups, continuing to change coverages, and continuing to look at some different lineups. We've gone to a couple different sub patterns in the last couple games. We changed coverages quite a bit in the Knicks game. So just continuing to open up that playbook of how we're attacking and how we're defending.
In terms of that sub pattern, you talked a little bit about Jason in that game, sending him to 43. Now, how do you kind of look at it in that game through those sub patterns of like, okay, we need like an extended run from here. I know you liked how like he was matching up defensively, but like as you do get close to the playoffs, like his usage and just sort of the rotations he's going to be in.
Yeah, I mean, every game's different, and so there's games where the last game just presented an opportunity that as long as they were going to continue to guard him the way they were guarding him, it made sense to have him on the floor because it allowed us to be very disciplined and organized on the offensive end, which allowed us to have great defense. And so every game could be different. We might need second unit speed, and so we go with a different lineup there. And it's just continue to be open-minded to the different challenges that each game presents, and then taking advantage of those, when we can.
How do you utilize practices at this stage of the season? You don't get a whole lot of them there.
No, that was great. Went for like 90 minutes today. It was a balance of information, balance of technique, and then a balance of execution. So just kind of talking to the guys and seeing where we think the team is at and what we need to work on as far as those three things: technique, execution, and the details.
Joe, you say you listen to what people on the outside say?
I think it's right there. I mean, you're not going to run away from it. And I can always tell because I know the type of questions you guys are asking. So by the time I leave the room, I'm like, that's where that's going. So I'm not like seeking it out, but it's there. It's 2024, it just is what it is.
What do you tell your guys to listen to? Because obviously the best record in the league, you guys are rolling, but it's, wait till the playoffs. Can they stand the pressure? All the questions are come up because they have to come up with questions.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like they don't know either because we're getting asked them. So we always have a relative temperature on what the narrative is because we're being asked questions every other day. And so I don't tell them what to do except just we always point out the truth. Like, here's the truth. Here's the reality. And as long as we can have the similar mindset on what's true, that's the only thing that matters. And all that stuff's always going to be there. You can't go to a away game and tell the fans not to boo you. So like you can't go to the free throw line and tell them to be quiet so you can focus. So like it's getting comfortable with things that are around you, knowing that you don't have any control over them, and then just focusing on what's true.
So if someone said something about you or reference to you that made you laugh,
All the time.
Like what? Like what's something you look?
Everything makes me laugh. Yeah.
Like, is there something in particular, like your mannerisms, or what is it that's something that, or your wife or someone might say, like, you should be upset with it or not?
Yeah, I think that's really important. Telling someone how they should be feeling is really dangerous. So telling someone they should feel a certain type of way, I just don't believe in that. And so it's kind of like, it is what it is, and you just kind of move on from there. But you got to take the good with the bad,
Derek and Peyton were saying that earlier this season they talked to Blake, said they wanted him to come back, and did you get to talk to him at all this year? Is that something kind of you expressed to him too? And how have you kind of kept up with him this year?
I mean, I talked to him a little bit in the off season. I talked to him like 1 or 2 times, I think, when we were in LA. But I kind of, when he told me at the end of last season that his family was the most important thing, I stopped talking to him about it because I know what it's like to be away from your kids and be away from your family. So he's always going to make a decision. That's what's best for him.
Did he tell you like he definitely wasn't going to be coming back this year then?
No, he just said that the most important thing were his kids.
You talked about how the way you look at spacing for this team is making the right reads quickly, getting to your spacing fast, and then playing out of that. Yeah. When it comes to Jaylen Brown's growth in that area, making the right reads quickly and consistently, what have you seen?
Just great intentionality, great purpose, great seeing the play before it happens. There was 2 clips from the Knicks game where he got the matchup that we wanted, and he didn't rush into an isolation or trying to score on that. Instead, he surveyed the defense and kind of took a second to see what they were going to do on it. And the space that he's in as far as his growth and development on the offensive end, he works at it every single day. And it's been great to watch him just kind of learn from that. And whether it's the film room or on the court here, he's always looking to get better. And I think those 2 clips kind of portray that of like he's recognizing advantages, but he's taking advantage of them with poise.
When an all-star break can, maybe stall a trajectory or push it in a different direction. What have you done to set the tone to make sure that your team kind of picks up where they left off?
That question's, it's not about what I've done, it's about the environment that we've created. And so, when you have a bunch of guys like we do, I thought the way we went into the break was impressive, having a close win versus Brooklyn and then doing what we did the night after, the second night of a back-to-back. But it's everyone's job. It's not just mine. And so it's the guys showing up every day. It's taking advantage of the practice time. It's being intentional about preparation, whether we have a shoot-around or whether we have a long film session. So it's not really on me. It's on all of us to just make sure we're ready to go all the time.
And then I guess sustaining that over, there's still quite a bit of games left to play before the postseason. So, how do you use this time to sustain that?
Just constantly find small ways to get better and have an understanding that it's going to get hard. We have a tough game tomorrow night. We have a month of March we're playing really good teams. Like this, it's going to get difficult. Expect things to get a little bit difficult, and when they do, just continue to use the tools that we've been working on.
Thank you, Joe. Yep.